Hi guys.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you guys? Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Good. It's a great day.
Good, good, good. So this is very low detail, but I know you guys were asking for like an agenda, right? So um if you want to bookmark this is the best I can do right now.
Oh,
I'll be happy to put like the topic on there, but if I put the agenda in the meeting invite, then it goes to like all 400 people that wanted to join this, and then they get irritated because someone will like reply all, and I don't have like a system like where you can just sign up with a link. So this is just easier. I'll update this usually probably the day of, but
mhm.
if you want to bookmark this, it'll have what we're going to talk about. Um, so today, I just would love to hear. I don't know if Junior's on, but if anyone used the EAwiz at all for anything since last week, I'd love to hear like any feedback or like uses, how you used it.
Yeah, Courtney, I'm here.
Hey, hey. First of all, anyone that wants to come off and show video, I love to see your faces. But yeah, so I would love to hear. Junior, tell us how you used it. Thanks so much for coming, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing the EAWiz tool with me. I appreciate it. To be honest, I actually haven't delved into ChatGPT, like the actual ChatGPT. I've been using Copilot mostly, just because it's integrated into to Word and Excel and just Microsoft 365. It just makes more sense, and the stuff goes into the cloud and you don't have to worry because it's already in the cloud anyways, right? I kind of stayed away from ChatGPT, but when you sent me the EA Wiz tool, I thought I'd give it a shot. And a little bit of backstory here. Um, what I used it to create, I've actually tried to create before using this. It's also a GPT. It's an agent called Replit. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's kind of used to create apps for different things, or agents for different things. And so I was able to use Courtney's tool, EAWiz, to one create the prompt that I needed, right? Because prompt engineering, as they call it, is really where everything is key. And I kind of struggle with coming up with prompts, right? You might know what you want to do, but you don't know what to write in order to get it to do what you want to do. It was really easy to basically open up a tool with the link that you sent me via LinkedIn. I got in there and I literally told it exactly what I wanted to do. And I don't know how much time I have to share here what I did,
Yeah, no,
but
I'd love to see.
I can share my screen and just kind of show that conversation and what it did, and then the conversation of what it did after I gave it the prompt that it actually gave me.
Sure.
All right, let's see here if I can pull that up. One second.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm just trying to share my screen here. One sec. There we go.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear that you use the prompt creator. Um, and you're right. So often, like we don't know how to like we know what we're looking for, but we don't know how to like ask it or if ChatGPT can do that. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I was so excited when you sent me this because one, I was able to test ChatGPT and really it's very similar to Copilot, so there's no issue there. So here is the tool, right? So when you click on Courtney's link, this is what comes up. Let me see. I want to scroll all the way to the top. This is the top of it. Let me know if you guys can actually see that. Can you see that?
yeah, we're good.
Okay, and Courtney mentioned you can hit hashtag tools or hashtag prompt or hashtag help, and it will just kind of start. Or you can just type in whatever it is that you're thinking. And that's kind of what I did, right? I just I'm gonna scroll down here to where I typed something in, and you'll be able to see what it did. Okay, so sorry, let me just move this so I can actually read. Okay, so I just told it I wanted to compare and contrast. I started very simple, and then you can see it starts talking to you right away. It says great choice, and then I told it what I needed to do. And this is a big problem for us in the events and hospitality industry, where sometimes we have a major citywide in town. We have a room block. I'm sure you guys can relate in some way where you have some people book outside of the room block. And if it's a very large citywide and you need to compare so that you can get credit for your room block, it becomes a headache because you have to do it manually, right? Or I should say the supplier, someone has to do it manually. Usually it falls within the realm of the hotel or venue to do it. So I basically just told it I need to compare conference registration list of attendees to a hotel in-house guest list to check for reservations that were booked outside of our room block. And it just got to work right away. It kind of just asked me a few questions here, and I'll scroll through to make this really quick. I told it what I had available because, like I mentioned, there's a backstory. I had already started working on this, and I kind of had these Excel sheets with the information, the data, because I tried already and it failed epically, right? I tried to use Replit to create something of somewhat of an app to do this, and it didn't work out well. So I was excited to try, and you can see here it did exactly what I wanted to do. I told it what I wanted to do, and it gave me the prompt. So if anyone needs this prompt, I'm trying to like go through this so I don't take up too much time. I have the prompt, and I can share that in the chat with everyone, and
That'd be great.
you can enter it. Yeah, you can enter it into Courtney's tool, and
Scroll up just a little bit. I'd love to see what the prompt was, like what, I know what it is that you wanted. So compared to Excel spreadsheet.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Identify guests who appear on both but did not. Okay, so just rephrase what you had said to it. For each match, highlight key details. Present the results in a clean, organized sheet with a separate column showing outside room block status. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Right, absolutely. Sorry, I kind of skipped that there.
No, it's okay.
And then I kind of had to give it a revision because I had a list. I had three lists. I had a list of and I created these as a test, right, based on information that I had before. I created three lists. One list was a hotel in-house guest list. The other list was a conference registration list, and the other list was a room block, right, that supposedly had the people in that block already. And so I fed it all three lists, and then I asked it, or I should say, I fed it two lists, and then I asked it if we should create another list for the people who are already in the room block, and it just kind of took it away. It said brilliant thinking, adding a third list for exclusions will make this much more accurate and streamlined. So at this point, my mind is being blown because, it's not only absorbing the information that I'm giving it, but it's also, analyzing it, and it can already kind of, I guess, anticipate what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. So
Can I just interrupt you for a second? Would you scroll up a little bit above that? Would it make sense? What I love about this, just a little bit more, sorry.
oh, yeah,
One
sure.
more set. What I love about this, a little bit more, just for the last message that it's right here. So
Okay.
I love that I wanted it to not only like give you in the output that you want, but I wanted it to also suggest like possible things that maybe you haven't thought of. So like a dashboard, so I was relieved to see that because I want it to always like suggest other things that it can do that maybe you haven't thought of. So okay, I just wanted to point that out. If you could keep going, I love it. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I gave it the third list, and basically that list was everything that it should exclude, right? Because these were already accounted for, and it created a new prompt within a second. It knew exactly what it needed to do, and it fixed it, right?
Right.
You can see the prompt here. I'll copy and paste it into the chat so everyone can run this prompt too if you have a similar situation. Um, and I will actually share you another screen. So this conversation was the creation of the prompt, but then there was the actual execution of the prompt. So if you don't mind, if you have like a few more minutes, I'll show you that. That's actually
Sure.
pretty short. So let me just switch my screen here. 1 second. Almost done. Just have to another good thing about this is that it saves if you create a prompt and then you run the prompt, it saves it for looks like about 7 days, so you can always go back to it.
Thanks.
Okay, I am switching over right now. Here we go.
Can a prompt be saved for longer than that? I would imagine, JR, that this is something that you're going to want to come back to repeatedly.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I also had that question, so I'm not sure. I think Courtney can probably answer that question better than I can, but I just copied and pasted it into a Word doc and saved it.
It will stay in your history, like just like your history. It's your ChatGPT history basically. So you'll run into the problem of like me, for example, mine. I really have to use that search feature in the when I'm looking at my history because I mean, think about how many times a day I use ChatGPT and then it'll name each query like something that it wants to that may not, so it's just tough to go back and look, but you can always like I keep trying to right click on yours. You can always right click on something in your history and when you write or when you click on the three dots next to the item, you can um you can maybe add it to a project. So you can create a project just for that he can call this, registration, whatever. For like your your favorite prompts or whatever. But on the website, when that comes out, which is very soon, it's gonna have a star in the corner, so you can just like you'll build your favorites list of prompts. Okay, go ahead, please. Sorry.
No, no, no problem. Absolutely. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So here's the prompt that I just typed it in to the same search field or ask anything field, and these are the three lists that I was telling you about earlier. So I just I didn't change them in any way, shape, or form since I tried the last time, and just as kind of like another backstory. So because I created these for, test purposes, I purposely threw in like, little wrenches, right? So like some dates don't match up, or some last names don't match up, because, you kind of have to, I guess, poke holes in it to see what it will catch, how accurate it is, and if you're gonna have to go back and check it manually, right? Which I already did, right? I went back and checked it manually after it spat out the results, and again, mind blown because it kind of caught everything that I did, which is absolutely, wild. So there's the prompt and there's the three lists. And you can see here's the conversation after I inputted that. It says it's going to process the three Excel files and generate a report identifying all of these things. Which is exactly what takes us weeks to do. If we were doing this manually. So that's a mind blowing thing already. And if I had recorded my face while I was doing this the first time, like the reaction would have been priceless because I was like blown away, absolutely blown away, right? And you can see that it's uh, it's doing this like a human being would. I'm not gonna read through everything, but I'm gonna scroll down slowly so you can see what it's doing. It it was identifying things that I had on my list, things that I created, and didn't change on purpose, like the names of the tabs and the names of the tabs not matching up on each spreadsheet. And then, it was creating code to make sure those match up so that it can do what it needs to do, which is, it's very exciting stuff. Um, uh, and you can tell it's analyzing, right? Because it says here appears to have the room block list appears to have the same structure as the registration list, which is something I did. I was doing this as a test, so I just used the registration list to create the room block list because it just made sense. I just changed the names, and so it was able to pick up on that. That's something I did out of necessity, and it picked up on that. I didn't even know it was going to do that, which is incredible.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? And you can see it's fixing everything, right?
Hmm.
It says I'll clean and I'll match the data now, which is, just mind-blowing stuff. I keep repeating myself, but and then it says here the analysis is complete and you can download the final report here. I just want to say, like, this is not an easy feat, and Courtney mentioned that she knows this because she has experience with this. This is something that takes a long time to do. To do this manually, it's absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so glad that worked for you. Uh, I owe you one. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're
And
welcome.
I'm just looking at the chat, Jacqueline. I do have a link for last week's that I'll post. It's I made the mistake of uploading them to my own YouTube channel, so I'm just going through right now and like making my personal videos like unlisted. So as soon as I get that done, which will be in 10 minutes, I will post the link to last week.
Thanks, Courtney. Thanks.
Sure, sure. Not that anyone cares to look at my home movies, but still. And then I'll create a separate account for this. So lesson learned. Did anyone else use it for anything? No. Well, I would love it if you guys tried to. So I'll put the link in again. And again, the benefit of this, like it's still ChatGPT, but it just has like 400 pages of custom instructions. And what those instructions are is like how we pointed out with Junior, he asked for a spreadsheet, it offered him a spreadsheet, but then it also said, would you also like, I think that there's like so often there's things that we haven't thought of, right? Like with my calendar audit, it never occurred to me to like have it. I didn't even know it could create like a dashboard with graphs and stuff to compare. Oh, also, I want to tell you guys, sorry, tangent. I want to tell you guys about VimCal. So do you remember how I had VimCal on to talk about their product? Great guys. And then I showed them my calendar audit script. So now, I don't know if they've announced it yet, but they basically implemented my script or all of the features of my script into their own analytics. So now if you're a VimCal user, it does everything that my calendar audit did. So anyway, so that's cool.
We did a demo with VimCal last week, and we were going to continue this week because we didn't have enough time and we needed more time. So yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's neat to see what they implemented was it'll run, and also it looks much better than mine does because that's what these guys do for a living. So but
Yours is very good. Don't knock it.
No, mine's very good, thank you, but theirs looks better anyway. But mine's free. So no, but with theirs they implemented the whole like proposed time, and it'll automatically calculate. So you can like it's just great. It's everything that I had hoped I could do for my own. Someone knocking.
Very cool.
Sorry. So, okay. So where were we? Oh, so the benefit. So it's going to also, and it's going to pull the information out of you. Like if you say, I want to redo my LinkedIn profile, like you may not, it may not occur to you to like, well, am I looking for like a chief of staff job? Am I like wanting to target a specific, um, say you're an AA, I don't know, and you want to like, whatever. It's going to ask you questions that you probably didn't think of, in this prompt that you're asking for help from. Anyway, so I would just suggest trying it. When you go to EAwiz.com, it's going to look just like ChatGPT for now. I'm working on that. But if you just type hashtag tools, it will list all the different hashtags that you can type. And each of those hashtags has like a ton of instructions on the back end, whatever it is, whether it's career, and then it'll walk you through like doing your resume, or like data visualization. If you already have an existing spreadsheet and you want to make it like beautiful and add charts and graphs and stuff like that, if you would type the data visualization tool, and I'll think of a better name, a shorter name for that, but dashboard or something. I don't know. But each of them have a lot of instructions, and I've put a lot of work into it, and I think it could really be helpful. So, okay, that's that.
Courtney, I saw some comments in the chat section where
Thanks.
Ilka said she used it for goal settings, helping come up with an action plan and examples.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm just going back in the chat now. Thank you.
Hey,
Ilka.
Courtney.
Oh, hi. Who just came in?
Hi. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So I was just wondering, I just joined, and I'm not too familiar with this, but I was wondering if I just been really busy lately and I haven't been able to, where do you put these recordings?
So I'm having EAwiz.com designed right now. And until the site is live, I just have these recordings like in my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel. And so I'm just going through like literally as we're talking right now, and I'm like making all my personal videos like unlisted, because I'm going to create a separate channel for EAwiz going forward. But just to be able to reference these older videos, I just need to make the rest of my YouTube channel, not that it's a channel, private. So I'm just doing that. But I'll very shortly in the chat post the link for last week's episode, at least, because that's where we kind of like did a deep dive into this custom GPT that I built. And as far as like recordings from before that, it's hit and miss. I tried recording when I could, but they'll be in this playlist that I'm going to share with you guys, whatever I do have. And just keep in mind, I'm not a presenter. I'm not like, so keep your expectations low, but we do talk about a lot of cool stuff. So anyway, thanks. It's nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you before, so glad you're here. Thanks. Ilka, I know your hand's not up, but did you have a question, something that a ChatGPT related question? Because I know.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
If we have time, I just feel like it would be helpful to kind of watch you, Courtney, do some things like you just said you search chats. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to try that. I didn't even know how to do that. So just some of the basic features, and JR was saying, he made it in Excel. I kind of want to see that. And I was in I don't know if it's VimCal. The two guys had a session yesterday that I was in. I don't know if anybody else attended
I
it
was
where they
there.
went over. Yeah, and I asked them, well, put it in a Word document. And for some reason, I didn't understand why they didn't recommend that. But I kind of would like to, well, maybe see you search for a chat and
Let's
then
do it.
understand this downloading thing,
Let's
like
do it
putting it
now.
into an Excel file. I just want to see that. I don't understand why the Word doesn't work, but they didn't recommend it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let's do that right now. So
Thanks.
sure. Share screen. Okay, so you guys see my ChatGPT, right? Or am I not sharing it?
We can see it.
You
Okay.
can see.
Okay, so to search, like, so this is my history, like that will go down for 6 years. Not really, but it, I use this 1,000 times a day. Um, and it's not always helpful what they rename it, like NFL season start. Do you honestly think I care? It was something about the Packers because anyway, so sometimes it'll just rename it something that may not be a good like reference point for you. So I think can you okay, if you hover over one, no, oh yeah, you can rename it. So I mean it'd be I guess a good habit to get into like after um, after you're finished, like and you're going through your list, or like as you're doing it and you see it like populate over here. If it's not something that you'll remember, I would just hit rename and Packers, whatever. Um, okay, so let's try the asking it to create a Word doc. So I was just doing this morning. So I mentioned before, this woman's trying to sue me for a dog bite. Um, and so I'm having to represent myself because I don't want to spend the 10,000 and this whole thing is just a joke. So I feel that I have a strong enough case where it's going to be super simple. So anyway, it wrote an answer and affirmative defense document. So let me ask it to, okay, let me just show you the document that it wrote. So, okay, this is the document that it wrote. So it wrote this, but like I don't know how to format it. So then I would ask, okay. Then I would ask it to, can you um what's this called? Um so I found before that when it gives me a link, it'll prepare a link that the link either won't open. Let's see. So now it's showing us like the Python. Python is like how all programs are written. So this is just like showing us the process. Um, so as soon as this is done, it'll show a download link. I've noticed in the past, like sometimes I can't download like the link that it gives, like for an Excel spreadsheet, like it'll say error or something. And what I realized is that is either one, like your company security policies if you're at work, or two, I would try using a different browser. I forget what it was, but like just by default, like my browser here is Microsoft Edge, right? Which I've always used Chrome, but it's just sometimes like since this is the default and I can't change the default at work, I found that now all of a sudden like I use Edge like willingly. Um, but there was something I was doing on ChatGPT and it wouldn't let me um, download it on Edge. So I tried Chrome and I was able to. Um, so it's still like, oh, here it is. Okay, download answer. So this is supposed to be the Word doc. Oh, okay, so it worked for me. So now open file. It's actually really pretty. I love that. It's not like a court document. I'll have to like take the blue out and all that, but
Thank you. Yeah, that worked well. Yeah, I don't know why I have problems, but I'll continue to play with that.
so what else did
A couple other questions I
Yeah.
had. No, I just forgot it. I'm sorry. But one thing in the training yesterday, you can just share with everybody. He said, in the chat GPT, if you want to show that, hit the globe before you do an internet
Oh,
search to tell it to search the internet. I don't know if you caught that.
yeah, I did.
That was new to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, yes.
Hit
You
the
can,
search there
yeah, you can
first, I
definitely do
think.
it. So, what, like, just now, ChatGPT, when I was going over like this legal stuff, it asked me, it said, do you want me to search the court dockets for you to see if such and such has been filed? So I never click search, but
Okay.
I'm sure there's a benefit. I'm sure it's there for a reason.
Mhm.
So maybe if you click that, okay, so tell me. They're like trying to learn like the best way. So sometimes they'll show you two different ways and then ask you to pick what output you like best. So no, okay, so this is assuming the magnifying glass. No, that's not what I want. Number two. So it would be this first one. So so I guess that search button would be to tell it to that the query is definitely going to be involving current information. Otherwise, it will still do a search. I guess like I would click that search if I'm wanting to like research a company's like vision and well, I mean, obviously there's 1,000 reasons we would use search, but um, I'm just trying to think of when I would ever like make a point of clicking that search. I guess it's a good habit to get into.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay. And then
yeah,
I just remembered my third question.
yeah.
My third question was about how you talk to the chat GPT. I have used that, and first I get like a blue circle and a man's
Mhm.
voice, and then it always times out, and then it kind of crashes, and it seems like then it goes to a woman's voice, and it's like a lower model. I was just wondering if you also experience that when you talk to it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to talk about for like the second half hour was like
Oh,
all
good.
about,
Thank you.
yeah, sure. Um, did anyone have any other like specific ChatGPT questions before I do a demo on the advanced voice? Sorry. Okay. Um, so first thing you want to do always, because OpenAI is constantly releasing updates to the app, right? And so when you hear about these new features that are rolled out, like if you don't automatically update your apps, I know this will give everyone a panic attack, but um, deal with it. So this is my phone, and then look at the badges. Um, anyway, so I never even App Store. I have 180 apps that need to be that need to be updated. So I'm not on top of that like I should be, but with ChatGPT I am. They're constantly rolling out new features and bug fixes and stuff like that. So I would say number one, before you use it, like daily, I would check to see if there's an update. I'm sure there's like a setting in the App Store in your phone to like automatically install updates for apps, but I would say that's the number one problem. If you're having a problem with like something freezing or something like that, I would check to make sure that the app doesn't need to be updated. Second, so I was searching this morning for like looking, I wanted to like brainstorm a topic to talk about for like the second half. And I found a video that said something about oh no, it was on LinkedIn and I found someone posted a video, I think it was OpenAI, about the new advanced voice feature. So I was like, new. Anyway, I didn't even know about it. So I updated the app, and then at first I looked on YouTube though. I wanted to like um watch someone's process using it. Because my problem, even though I've been saying since day one, always use the voice assistant just for the purpose of like being able to refer to details that maybe you don't log. Um, like when I applied for this job that I have now, it was like a month before I heard back from him. I was getting like antsy. Um, just like wanting to know if I could dismiss it or not. Like I had so many other options, but so I asked, rather than me scrolling back and searching for like emails and trying to track and figure out what the date of my interview was, I just asked ChatGPT, hey, what day did I interview with Dimension? And so that's handy also. After my interview with this place, like I was like a 2.5 hour interview. And I knew by the time I got home, I wouldn't remember half of it. So I just opened the advanced voice and I said, don't interrupt me. I'm just going to tell you everything I can remember about the interview. Then I was able to write like a really good, ChatGPT was able to write a really good cover letter, referencing specific, like multiple specific points that from the interview. Like I wouldn't have thought to put all that together. I probably couldn't. That's not even capable of writing that. Unless a recruiter's on here, then I'm so good at that. But let's see. So so the name of my I promise I'll put the link for the videos as soon. It's just my personal for these previous videos. Bye, Casey. It was so good to see your face today, if you're still on here. Thanks for coming on. Okay, let me.
Courtney, I was going to say, when you're done with that, can you also share, you shared this once before. I believe you had uploaded like a policies and procedures for something and then had it create a podcast between like two people talking in like conversational, talking about it so that you wouldn't have to read the whole document and instead you're listening to a podcast telling you about it.
Yes, I will definitely. That's NotebookLM, and that's a Google product, so it's free. And yes, I will definitely touch on that because that's awesome. Like if there's something long you don't want to read, and it will create a podcast. You upload the document, and then it'll create a podcast with like two people that are like so engaging and entertaining and fun to listen to. Even like no matter, you can upload your company handbook or whatever, like the most boring thing you can imagine. Like I had to do, it's called like BOI reporting for, first of all, anything related to the IRS. Like I'm the last person that you need to ask for help with, but for some reason, like I'm tasked with like entity reporting. Like I don't even understand what it is, right? So I had to go to ChatGPT and oh, God, Ed, connect with me, please. Ed,
It's a good time.
Oh my God. I have no idea. It may as well be like Spanish. Okay. But so the document, like the requirements for that, I was like, not reading it. So I just uploaded it to NotebookLM. And then as boring as that topic is to learn about, like just hearing two really cool people to listen to. But then you can also interrupt the podcast with a question. It'll be like, yeah, hi caller. And then you can like change the trajectory of the conversation because again, it's not a real podcast, right? So all it is two different voices like reading the content that AI has created, but it sounds like it's a podcast. It's just really cool. It's interactive. It's neat. I'll see if I can. Oh, bye, Ariana. I'll see if I can log on and just pull up a previous one. In fact, I'll load that right now. But what I wanted to talk about the advanced chat. So, like my biggest problem was that like I'll be mid-sentence and then it would interrupt me and it's because it's always like wanting you to know that it's like I'm with you, I'm following you, right? So like I'll be talking about so I want to install a swing in my backyard from the tiki hut, I said. So tell me whatever. I'm asking for help installing something. And then like mid-sentence, it's like, got it. You bought it. You bought a swing for your tiki hut. You wanna, and I'm like, okay, I'm not like, I hadn't even gotten to the question yet, right? So it's like, it's always like wanting to like confirm, like, got it. You want to apply for a job and so what I was having to say is, listen, do not, if you hear a slight pause, like don't interrupt. And I don't need you to confirm everything you've heard. Just like wait until I say done, right? That's what I had to do. So I would be like, okay, I want to apply for a job. I need help with whatever the issue is. Done. And then it would jump in, right? But that's annoying. That's a nuisance. You don't want to do that every time. So, hi, Marissa. Welcome. So, this new advanced, I was reading this morning, that they've like fixed that. And if ChatGPT does interrupt you, that like you can just keep talking and it will catch up. So I thought we could, oh, I did make a little deck. And if I'm being honest, I made it at 12:21 p.m. today. But it's still good. Let me. So I'll just post again. This is the link. If you guys want to bookmark this, this is going to be the agenda for the meetings. I don't want to like spam message everyone that's ever asked to sign up. So this is just easier. I'll just update this doc before the meeting and I'll upload any any documents or whatever. So let's see. So I'm not sharing, am I? Sorry. Let's go to here. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but are you guys seeing the, okay. So this is just a deck if you want to go through this yourself, talking about enhanced voice mode. Right here is where you're going to see, this is the screen that you're looking at if you're on your phone and you're using it. So you see this like blue circle, it's animated, and that's telling you that it's listening to you. Before you, if you haven't used this yet, you'll just go into your settings and there's like 6 voices that you can choose from, and they're all like really pleasant to listen to. But what's new in the, so faster response times, and then mid-sentence, it doesn't interrupt you as often, but you can also interrupt ChatGPT if it's like, just it's addressed the issue with interruptions. And then I've never had an issue with contextual memory. Like I will ask it, I'll ask it a question about, like this morning, I was like, I want to talk about an agenda for my meeting today. I need something to talk about for the second half. Do you know what meeting I'm talking about? She's like, yes, your AI for admins meeting. Let's brainstorm ideas. And then she just goes off, right? And so, so it's great. And so anyway, this just, these are some tips for using it. And you can find this deck in the, and how great is Gamma, by the way? Like I literally made this deck at 12:21, and that's why I was like a minute late. But how great is this? Like I hated PowerPoint, hated it. Like I would like not do something if it meant having to use PowerPoint. So let me I'll stop sharing for a second. And then let's test it out. I don't know. Someone give me a topic, please, or a question for the advanced voice, or I can just think of one. Let's see.
How about vacation destinations for 2025? Or sorry, I went off career professional. I just went off into like personal.
Perfect. Let's do it. So my boyfriend and I are going to be taking our first like real vacation in 3 months. Can you help us decide on or narrow down destinations? I want it to be, give me 10 locations, 10 potential locations that are under a 2.5 hour flight from Miami Airport. I want it to be beachfront and have fishing. Of course, it would have fishing if it's beachfront. Oh, I have my glasses on, so you guys can't hear it. By the way, remind me to tell you about my smart glasses.
No worries. Sure thing. Here are some fantastic destinations under a 2.5 hour flight from Miami. 1. Bahamas.
Oh, sorry, I shut my phone off. Anyway, it'll go through, and it'll give me 10 options. But I can interrupt it halfway through that list and say, just give me, I don't know, if whatever the output is, if not exactly what you were looking for, you can just interrupt it and say, and it's a conversation. So I'll just do a stupid one. Uh,
Take your time, Courtney. Let me know how I can help when you're ready.
I want to, can you help me put a plan together for cleaning out my backyard?
Absolutely. What's your vision for the backyard? Are you thinking more of a general cleanup or a full transformation? And do you have any specific areas you want to focus on?
So my budget is going to be under $1,000. I have a tiki hut already with like lots of nautical and tiki like designed or tiki themed like things hanging up. I want to install more lighting. That's a priority. Um, I want to have one of those fun multicolored like directional signs that say like Key West, however many miles, and then Orlando, however many miles. I want to have one of those and I want to tack that on the palm tree. Can you tell me what supplies I would need to buy to do that besides paint? Also, what kind of paint do you paint on wood? Um, Also, I wanted to hang a new swing in the tiki. Are you following me?
Got it. For your budget, here's a plan.
Okay,
First,
so
lighting.
the reason why it took so long to say to respond to me is because I lost my mind this morning when I was driving to work trying to talk to it and it kept interrupting me. So I was like, listen to me, do not interrupt me. After you hear a pause, I want you to wait 20 seconds before you respond. So anyway, that's why it took so long. But it will remember. Oh, go ahead, please.
No worries, I completely understand. Thanks for letting me know. I'll be sure to wait before responding. So let's dive back into your backyard plan. For the lighting, solar-powered string lights or LED tiki torches would work well. For the directional sign, you'll need
Can
wood lamps.
can you just save talking all this to me and can you just put it all in a document, please? Can you list prices and links to where I could buy the items, group everything that I need to buy into categories so it's easier for me to understand the list and write out steps that I can take if I want to do just like one area at a time.
Everything in a document for you. Here's a quick outline of what it will include. Categories
Okay,
and supplies.
so I'll show you guys whatever give the document. But you
So
can
when
see.
is the party? Because I'd like to come down.
I wish I have no friends here in Florida, you guys. I have no one ever comes over. My boyfriend's a firefighter. He works like 24-hour shifts. So when he's gone, I'm just like so bored out of my mind. I need to meet people, but I just
Well,
don't.
the next time I'm in Naples, I'll message you.
Yes, please.
And
I would
we'll
love to
meet
have
up somewhere.
I would love to have a friend come by for sure. So let's see what it's creating. I'll share my screen again. So first let me ChatGPT. Okay, share screen. Put my history. Oops. French. See what I was talking about before, the way it names it, like conversation summary request. Like I'm not going to know what that's about. So I would, I would right click and rename it backyard renovation plan, whatever. And that'll make it easier. Am I ever going to do that? No, I'm never going to rename anything. I'm just going to get frustrated when I'm trying to find something. So instead, what I'll do is I'll click this magnifying glass up here. And then if I searched for whatever, it'll give me every query of like anytime I've typed calendar audit, for example. Okay, so now we're seeing that it's working in Python. Okay, is this it? Okay, so it's not gonna get it right every time on the first one. So now I would go back and I would, at this point, I'm gonna type, but I would say, this is terrible. It wouldn't, I don't know. I would be aggravated and I'd say, okay, I asked for a complete detailed renovation. Include links and prices for items I need to purchase. Okay, so now I just reiterated what I was asking for and it will give me a better, if I was being picky, I will go back in and say, I wanted the list in a table format. We don't care right now, but there's nothing, and like, especially with, or even with the voice, like, it's not like you can ask too many things at once. Like if you, like I was purposely trying to say to it, like a bunch of things, like I want to include this. I want to, you can give it like so many instructions, and it will remember, it can process like more than one thing at a time. So, like when I first started doing the calendar audit, I would say like, because I didn't think I could give it more than one thing. So I'd say, okay, now I have the script. I want you to add meeting categories, add that to the script. And I was doing things one at a time. And so for whatever reason, I was like, okay, can you add 2 columns? And then I saw like, so I would just, the prompts for my calendar audit like were like, I can't even tell you how long they were, because I wouldn't, like, it was frustrating. Like it would give me, I got to the point where it would give me, a script that would have like a decent, table of data. But then I'm having to say, you know, please auto size or auto fit, whatever the word is, the columns. Please format it as a table. I didn't want to do that every time, or so any of like the things that I found I was doing every time I ran this calendar audit script, I just like built that into the instructions and it did everything. It's great. Okay, so do we have time? I'll just go over to NotebookLM real quick.
One thing I just found something interesting.
Yeah.
When you do we can access ChatGPT or Gemini from the phone and then also from the web interface, but they act differently because they have a different language model on the back end. So the phone apps are designed for the voice activation mainly. Web browsers are typing. So even though we use voice commands from the web browser, the accuracy of a platform understanding or giving the information would be different. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I personally would never use the voice feature. Like if I'm at a computer, I just type. I've never tried to use the voice from like my laptop. But I definitely don't always use the voice on my phone, and I feel like I get the same output as I would on the web. But that's interesting. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, I was just like asking to the Gemini what is the difference because when I was in Google before, the different engineering team developed the language model. It's like they don't share the same model for the app teams and then web teams. So and it seems like that is the case for the ChatGPT as well. So it's just like a little technical, but it's interesting. They are using. different language model. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know anything about Gemini. Like if you guys, I guess I should probably like look look at, talking about some of these other LLMs, but if this is going to be the topic is AI for admins, like I guess I can like go off of ChatGPT. I just love ChatGPT so much. And also, like if I'm going to use something else, no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use each app for like what their purpose is. So Claude, I'll ask it for writing. I'll have it write a content of some sort. And that's what like I'll make maybe next week's episode. Would episode
Yeah.
Next week's meeting can be about I'll demo like a case, a search for each one, like what it's supposed to be used for. So I'll do like Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, Claude.
Yeah, it's just like a trivia kind of information. I'm actually a language teacher as well. I teach at the community college. So I use translation features between two languages. And those are getting smarter and smarter. And there are so many devices. But it's always when you use like an app-based translation or on-time translation, like a translation on the phone versus the web browser version, the phone version is always much smarter. It's very interesting.
That is interesting. Thanks, Naomi.
Can I ask Naomi a question? You said you had compared it between, was it Gemini and ChatGPT?
For the general use or voice activation.
For the example you used before.
Yeah.
Which one did you find was more proficient?
It depends on the how to use. So in but because I don't have a paid version of the ChatGPT, I tend to use Gemini more, and I like the Gemini providing the source link without me asking in most of the cases. But the ChatGPT paid version must be, different. It's also what kind of spreadsheets they can provide, the Google one or Excel one. But the interesting difference, because I'm kind of into the language, I was using both features for editing my son's how to say application essay, and they really give the different recommendations. So I think the one like a Gemini was more of, how do I say, you can do it and you can find out. It's very interesting to see the difference of what kind of suggestion in the sentence structure comes out, and you can just use whichever one you like. Yeah, one was more like a poetic, and the other one was more like a literature style for the essay editing. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they come out. If it is like a basic data, it's not much difference. But when you ask something like a change, like edit my something, they come out really different.
Yeah,
Also,
like drastically,
language.
you can see a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I came across an article yesterday. I haven't really finished reading it, but I'm going to post it here. It's Chat GPT versus Perplexity with they use 5 prompts to determine which was the better tool. And I think ChatGPT came out ahead, but I just put it in there for everybody if they're interested in taking a look at it.
Thanks. Yeah, I love comparing and seeing like in the VimCal presentation from yesterday, if anyone else was there, they he talked about like the main points to include in a prompt. And then I love seeing like when people compare like 2 ways of doing it and seeing what the output is, whether it's like on Perplexity and ChatGPT, or if it's all on ChatGPT, like wording the prompt this way and wording the like I love seeing like the differences in like 2 different ways or models or whatever. I just want to touch really quick on the NotebookLM. So I'm sharing my screen. This is free for everyone, but the example that I'm going to use here is was this BOI reporting. I didn't want to read the document, so I you would paste it in the sources. So you can over here, this is the source. I probably, this is just a website, I think, but you can also add like PDFs. You can add, so whatever you have in your sources column is what it will do. So here it's like summarizing it right here. And then if I click audio overview, it will over here create a podcast, right? And I was like, what's interactive mode? And that's where I was telling you, like, you can jump in and ask a question and they'll be like, oh, Courtney, what a great question. So I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Imagine this. You're finally launching that small business you've always dreamed of. Got the website up, you're stocked with inventory, and bam, new financial regulations just kind of drop out of thin air. And then a week later,
I know.
frustrating.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening with beneficial ownership information reporting.
Right.
BOI, for short.
Yeah, BOI reporting.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
So we've got a stack of articles,
Yeah.
legal analyses here to help us understand what's going on, because this impacts millions of American business owners.
Millions.
I'm going to do interactive mode real quick. I don't even know if there's a microphone on this. Does every computer have a microphone? Yeah, it must.
Yes, should. It just depends on whether it has access to it and if it's on.
So let's see. So here's the interactive mode. Let's try it.
All right. So imagine this. You're finally launching that small business you've always dreamed of. Got the website up, you're stocked with inventory, and bam, new financial regulations just kind of drop out of thin air.
Yeah.
And then
Can I forward
a week
this?
later, they change again.
I know.
Frustrating.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening with beneficial ownership information reporting. Boy,
Oh my God. Listeners got something to say.
Yeah, I just noticed that that the ruling was overturned that required everyone to file the BOI reporting for their personal entities. Can you tell me where they're at with that?
Absolutely. That's the big question on everyone's mind right now.
Like, are you kidding me? How cool was that?
That article was written December 29th. It's a bit of a roll.
yeah, we mentioned that whiplash earlier.
Right. The article explains that
Like, how great is that? Hearing two pleasant sounding people.
It's actually blocked from enforcing these BOI reporting.
They're not mandatory.
Correct. At least at that moment. This came after a district court issued a nationwide preliminary injunction.
So you see what it does, but then again, do I want to spend, I saw the length of this podcast is 15 minutes. I feel like listening to that for 15 minutes about BOI reporting, like I would just break down. But you get the point. And
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So what made you go into NotebookLM versus doing this in ChatGPT? Can ChatGPT do this?
Sorry, the last part of that question was one more time.
Can ChatGPT do this?
ChatGPT will not create like a podcast. That's like what the benefit of NotebookLM is, right? There's other things it can do, like a mind map. I don't even know what a mind map is, a study guide, a briefing doc, a timeline. So there's certainly other uses for NotebookLM other than creating podcasts, but it's similar to ChatGPT in that if you were to create a ChatGPT project, damn it, I hate it when I can't see the bar. Hold on. Okay, see here, these are no, that's a custom GPT. So you can create no, here it is, projects. You can create a project. So Miguel Tech. Where am I going with this? Oh my God. Oh, you create.
Well, I was asking if you can do a podcast, if you could have done that, because it seems that ChatGPT is great for asking questions, and providing information, but it can't turn information into certain things. Like if you wanted a PowerPoint presentation, you'd have to take it out and take that information, put it into Gamma or another platform. And then for this, you have to take it out and put it into Notebook or another platform. So I'm just curious. It's
so
curious.
What I always do when I'm going to create like a deck, for example, for this week's meeting, I went to ChatGPT. I said, give me the outline for a deck for advanced voice mode in ChatGPT. So it gave me the outline, but then, yeah, I went to Gamma and I pasted it. Now, what I could do, I could go to Explore GPTs. I know Gamma has an added, not an add-in, Gamma has a custom GPT, so I've never used it, but I would use this. It's like, so now it's Gamma and EAwiz. I mean, Gamma and ChatGPT. So I would say, create an outline and it would do it all here.
I
So
didn't know you could do that within ChatGPT. That's
yeah,
very
so go to Explore GPTs.
Yeah.
And then just like search for now, the custom GPT is only going to be as good as like the instructions that are built into it. So I wouldn't just trust. When I say trust, I mean it's I wouldn't. None of these custom GPTs will like keep your information. You don't have to worry about like them seeing the queries. I know that just because I created the my custom GPT EAwiz, and I know like for a fact that's like the first thing it says is you can't view people's queries. So but when I say trust, I mean like, sorry, my glasses are ringing because I'm getting a phone call. How cool is that?
I think you're going to have to spend about 10 or 15 minutes doing a demo on those glasses.
I know, maybe next week I will, but I bought these smart
I'm
glasses.
curious.
They're so cool. I can like, I click the button and I take a picture, see the light.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to record, I would press and hold and it's like recording video. And I can like my phone calls come in through the glasses. I can play music through the glasses. And what else? I know we're out of time.
Are they prescription?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm blind. Like I need glasses.
Crazy.
I can't read anything, and they're progressive, so so I never have to take them off. They're great. But wait. I was just going to say one last thing. Was it about NotebookLM? Oh, so the same way that you would create a project here, in NotebookLM, it's the same thing. So you have a project. This is essentially a project folder where you can add in ChatGPT, it's called knowledge. Here it's called sources. But you would upload documents or references to what you want that custom project to always like refer to. But I just thought the cool thing here is this podcast, especially the interactive mode. It's not mobile, or else I'd like do it all the time on the drive home. Actually, maybe it is mobile. I think it is mobile because the first time, never mind, scratch that, it's mobile. But okay, so that's all. Any tip before we go? Any suggestions for next week? I think I'm probably just gonna do like differences between, although I'm dreading it. I really don't want to use Gemini but I should. So unless someone like comes up with an amazing idea right now for next week, I guess that's.
Are you opposed? Why are you, or what is it about Gemini that?
I just never use it. And so
you might be pleasantly surprised. You never know.
I'm never swaying from ChatGPT. It's my entire life. I've invested too much of my life in ChatGPT. Like
I know.
Oh, and that's the other thing. Like if I want to go back and search for, I don't want to have to remember, do I need to search ChatGPT? Do I need to search Gemini? Do I need to, so I just personally, I like sticking with ChatGPT. For the purposes of this meeting, I'll test, and you're right, maybe I will be pleasantly surprised. I know the few times that I've used Perplexity, like I definitely see the value in that for certain cases. But anything else? Any other suggestions for maybe not next week, but another week?
Hey, Courtney, I have two. So first of all, I'd really like a demo on the glasses.
Yeah.
That's number one, because I'm blind too, and I could personally see that as being extremely useful, and maybe my HSA might pay for it.
They do, number one, for sure, 100% they do.
Okay. But second, what I would love to see next week, and I know you hate it, and I'm really sorry, but put the exact same prompt into the different GPTs. Yeah. And see what those differences are, because I think it was Naomi who said that she didn't get completely accurate results. It was in the chat. It was pretty pretty far up. Because I kind of I will fully own, I got bit in the butt because I was in a hurry, trying to get flights. And I was like, hey, I need flights between these two cities, this time frame, blah, 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 nonstop, this airline. And so it gave me a bunch of flights, and I put those into my boss's calendar. Because the way that we communicate is, because I'm remote from him, is everything has to be on the calendar. So I will put proposed flight, what the flight number is in the airline and that kind of thing, and then the block of time. And so I always do 3 proposed flights for each segment. So I put all those in, and he's like, yeah, I want this one and this one. I'm like, great. And I called travel, and the travel provider was like, yeah, there's no such flight. I was like, what? So, so check your stuff. Just saying.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that wasn't a conversation I had to have with him. It was a conversation between me and travel. And so I just played it off like, oh, the airline must have changed. Oh crap.
No,
But anyway, I would just love to see a comparison of a simple prompt,
Sure.
I think
not
it's
like the
really
calendar
depends.
audit.
It depends on the data. So logistics, I agree, don't rely on it. Like my case is actually even worse. I was asking, I'm arriving to Narita Airport this time and I need to go to Hiroshima within the same date. What is the best logistic you suggest? And Gemini was telling me something that, there's no direct flight from Narita Airport to Hiroshima Airport. But it was suggesting the flight, and when I actually took a deeper look, it was a flight from Haneda to Hiroshima, and Haneda is 1 hour by car from Narita. So I knew it, so it's like a wrong. But again, like a logistics, I say don't trust those. But the hotel reservation, they could do like give me all the hotel open between this date to this date within this price range, and then the driving distance within this match time. They're all accurate. They gave me like 5 hotels in Dubai, and it was a Gemini. Give me all the link, so I could. Yeah, the reason I like having the link is I can go to the original link and check the information. So yeah.
Okay, well, we've gone over quite a bit, so I put the link for last week's meeting in the chat. I should have done it earlier before half people jumped off. Sorry for that. But I'm still cleaning up other stuff. If it starts going into like automatically playing like my home movies, like obviously those will be cleaned up soon. I'm just having to make each one of them private. So what else? There's a link for that. If you want to bookmark the link for the agenda, I'll do my best at getting that done earlier in the week. Is anyone here a member of ASAP? Is it? Okay. So July 10th, I'm going to be thanks so much for your for showing us what you did. That was awesome. Thank you. I'm so grateful to all you guys that come and I feel like we're all learning from each other. It's so awesome. But what was I saying? Oh, so July 10th.
Yep.
July 10th, I'm going to be doing another calendar audit, like demonstration for I don't know how ASAP works, if it's like free for I think it's free for like all the members, but it'll be July 10th is my birthday, so I won't forget it. But anyway, if you want to jump on,
Dad's
I'll be
birthday.
promoting that soon. So okay, that's all I got. But thanks everyone for coming. I love you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And thanks for these note takers. Like I need to probably do that like anyway for myself, but I've never used one and I get stressed out doing things that I don't know. So but maybe I'll try like circle back or anyway, it's probably all note takers on here at this point, so never mind. I'm talking to myself.
Thanks, Courtney.
Oh, hi.
Bye.
Hi.
Courtney, just wanted to ask you, Jacqueline here from India.
Hi.
Hi. All the way from India. Yeah.
Hey, I love it.
Just wanted to ask you, have you done a session on Copilot, Microsoft Copilot?
No, but I'll include that next week in the comparison and
Yes,
so
amazing.
do you have that built
Because,
in like into your company?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I
We
won't
have
be
it
able to
built
like,
into Microsoft.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a part of Microsoft, and it's kind of incorporated in the menu in Microsoft Outlook,
And
or
that's so
Word or
great that
Excel.
it's integrated with like your documents and stuff.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't have that here at my current position, but I definitely see the benefit in being able to use like
Right.
AI to, reference
Yes.
documents in OneDrive and things like that.
Yes.
But I'll include Copilot for next week when I'm like comparing the different models.
Great.
And please, I'm so happy you're here, but please, you can always
Thanks,
reach out
Courtney.
to me
Yeah.
on LinkedIn if you have any
Sure.
questions or suggestions. And
Okay.
if like they don't get answered in the chat, I'm always happy to set up a time to connect.
Yes.
Outside of the meeting. I just love doing anything with AI, so I'm always happy to connect outside. So thank you for coming. It's
Great.
so nice to meet
Great.
you. And
Thank you so much, and thanks for such a noble, service. I mean, it's amazing what you do every week, so committed, and it really, really helps us. And yeah,
oh,
so God bless you.
thank you. Thanks, guys.
Time
Have
is
a
in
great day,
time. Yeah.
everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care.